So I love the piss out of revenge tour narratives. It really is a lot of fun, especially when that schedule comes out and coaching staffs and roosters get solidified. It's like, oh, hey, here we go. Look out for week X because he's coming back. It's going to be great. So I decided to walk through the Vikings 2020 Revenge Tour. Now, we did the best that we could in syncing up all of the potential revenge games, both for the Vikings as well as former Vikings players and staff coming back in. But I'm sure we missed one. I'm sure the comments will let us know. It's always good. So we're going to walk through the Vikings 2020 Revenge Tour. Let's get it on. And now, this is specifically like former players, former coaches, but and of course, bloodlines run deep. We all know. But so week one, of course, the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. We know everything about the whole border battle, the rivalry, the octogenarian quarterback and the 12-year-old boy, all that stuff. But just ingrained in there. So they currently have Jerry Gray, who was a great defensive back coach for the Vikings from 2014 through 2019. And the turnover on defense, where it did feel like maybe Zimmer was making a couple changes, maybe throwing a couple guys under bus. George Edwards, we'll talk about him in a sec. Jerry Gray as well. But yeah, he just strolling across the river, where he gets to work with Jair Alexander, Kevin King, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. They actually have a lot of talent back there. So, and also he gets all the secrets. Like, hey, you want to pick on Mike Hughes? Hey, you want to pick on Holton Hill? Hey, this is what you do. Get the best of Harrison Smith, as well as, hey, I went up against Gary Kubiak every day for a year, Kirk Cousins every day for 2 years, as well as Kyle Rudolph, as well as Adam Thielen. Is like, he's going to be a treasure trove of information for the Packers. But other than that, I'm not bitter. And then Viking side is like, hey, we got Dom Capers. Woo! Yay. Yeah, the guy who has no crossover with the current regime, but he was just there for a long time. Great. Awesome. Cool. As well as he can throw in, well, what if Everson signs with the Packers? He was never signing with the Packers. It was all a ruse. It was. Week two. Here's where it gets a little bit thick. So Xavier Rhodes, come on in. Already talk about, well, this defense is a lot easier. It's too hard. It's too difficult. I understand that the Vikings paid me 5 years, $70.1 million, and I was poopy. I was so bad because defense is hard. Hey, don't let that guy score or catch the ball. I got it. I don't got it. Ow, my hamstring. Great. Also, if you remember Chase McLaughlin, who's on the Vikings for a cup of coffee, he's currently on the Colts as well. Probably won't make the roster since they do have rookie Rodrigo Blankenship there, but yeah. But this one, flying under the radar. So Mara Malouf has been a great special teams coordinator for the Vikings. Came in last year, replaced Mike Prefer. Now, his last full special teams coordinator job, not assistant, but like full-on job, was 2012 with the Colts, and then he was just abruptly fired, which if you hear Pat McAfee talk, is like, what the hell? Yeah, so Marlon Malouf got a little bit of revenge on his mind. Ooh, this could be the fake punts. This would be great. How do you like me now? I'm going to have Britton Skullquit throw a touchdown in your ass too on a Brandon Dillon. It's going to be great. Week three, Titans. So on the Titans roster is former Vikings UDFA fullback Kari Blossengame, who came out of Vanderbilt. So the Titans decided to poach him, bring him back to Nashville, which really sucks. But so there's two things. So number one, CJ Ham is the best fullback in the game for my money. Sorry, Kyle, used check your face. Kari Blossengame, I think, is going to be a stud. I really liked his game. Was a physical freak. Was one of he's like CJ Ham. He's one of those hybrid tailback fullbacks, and he's doing great things in Tennessee. In that Mike Vrabel, Art Smith offense, leading the way for Derrick Henry. He was really good. Also, Tajay Sharp spent his rookie years down there, rookie contract down in Tennessee. Just never really got the time of day. Also under the radar. So Todd Downing, who prior to Eden Prairie was formerly the Raiders offensive coordinator, was with the Vikings in a quarterback / tight end coaching capacity. Didn't get elevated. Kevin Stefanski did. Downing is now on there on the offensive staff with the Titans. Week 4 Texans. Gary Kubiak coming back home. Texans, right? So Gary Kubiak is the most successful coach in Texans franchise history. He turned Arian Foster into one of the best running backs in the game. Multiple playoff appearances, a couple playoff wins. Matt Schaub. Yeah, so Gary Kubiak goes back down there. After all I've done for you, you fired my ass. bring it. Week 5, Seahawks. So Pete Carroll, we had to reach on this one. So Pete Carroll was a defensive backs coach back in the day under Bud Grant. Well, there you go. Of course, all the history that the Vikings and the Seahawks, a.k.a. Vikings West, have had. Shamar Stephen spent a year with the Seahawks in 2018 before coming back, bringing them back. But it's really it. Like, unless they sign Everson, which everyone's going to sign Everson, I guess. But nah. Week 6, Falcons coming to U.S. Bank Stadium. So you got the Schaub Kubiak connection. Matt Schaub has been the backup in Atlanta for a couple years. Actually, he came into the league with the Falcons. Then he signed that big free agent contract with the Texans, which is like, okay. Also, former 2016 first-round pick, Laquan Treadwell, number 23 overall. He's down there in Atlanta. By the way, go look at the team that Dimitrov has assembled. Like, they literally have maybe like 30 first-round picks. It is really ridiculous if you look at that rooster. But Treadwell didn't work out here. Going out for some revenge. And I actually think that the change of scenery may benefit him. And Calvin Ridley's okay. But you could see Treadwell maybe emerge as a very solid wide receiver 3, maybe fringe on that wide receiver 2 spot behind Julio Jones. As well as, so Mike Zimmer was the Falcons defense coordinator for one season. I remember that was the Bobby Petrino, gutless bastard. I'm going to leave the team via memo a year. That was just great. Week 8, Packers again, Jerry Gray, Dom Capers. Lions. So now the Lions and the Vikings, like, it runs deep. So you got Amir Abdullah, former second-round pick by the Lions. Back in the day. Get some revenge there. Riley Reif, of course, the former Lion before the Vikings signed him up to a massive free agent contract. Darrell Bevel, who was the offensive coordinator with Seattle, and then he eventually landed here with the Lions because he doesn't like running the ball from the 1-yard line with Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl. Cool. But Bevel was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings during some of the Brad Childress years, notably 2009 with Brett Favre. Then also you got Anthony Zettel, had 7.5 sacks with the Lions at left defensive end. I believe it was 2017. And then they just punted on him, which was just, okay. But yeah, gets that revenge. Their offensive line coach, Hank Fraley, was assistant to the regional offensive line coach with the Vikings here for a number of years. Also, of course, you got J-Ron, which, his suspension will be up by then. So there you go. Bring it on. As well as under the radar, too. So Justin Coleman came in as a UDFA out of the University of Tennessee in either 15 or 16. It's one of the 2 seasons. And I really liked him. Frankly, I think he should have made the roster, but then he went on a bit of a sojourn. He really got together with the Patriots and then spent some time with the Seahawks before eventually linking up with Matt Patricia yet again in Detroit. Nice little free agent signing. As well as Rick Spielman. So yeah, Rick Spielman, his brother Chris Spielman was a longtime great Detroit Lions legendary linebacker. And also, Rick Spielman actually had a cup of coffee. He was in training camp with the Lions 1 year and then started as a scout with the Lions, got his beginnings there. So there you go. Bears, speaking of the Bears, so hop to Spielman right away. Spielman from 97 to 99 after his time with the Lions was actually the Bears director of college scouting, I believe. Either way, it's one of those quasi-executive scouting level. So, Spielman has a lot of experience in the NFC North. There you go. Also, John DeFilippo, JDF, is on staff with the Bears. Best of luck. Hey, remember that? It was good times. 2018. 11 personnel all over the place. Great. Also, Cordero Patterson, former first-round pick, 2013. The greatest kick returner of all time. Just never really worked out on offense. Trey Roberson technically has some crossover. He was in camp with the Vikings for a number of seasons, as well as Clancy Barone. He's coaching tight ends for the Bears. He was the Vikings tight end / offensive line coach for a couple of seasons, and notably filled in after Tony Sperano very sadly passed away in 2018. He filled in with current wide receivers coach Andrew Giannacco to be co-regional offensive line coaches in Sperano's absence. Week 11. So Cowboys. Of course, they got Zimmer, who was defense coordinator for a number of years with the Cowboys under Bill Parcells, as well as we still believe that the Vikings lose the wild card round. Jerry Jones would have purchased Mike Zimmer from the Vikings. He would have. He was straight up traded a couple first round picks, done whatever he did. He did not want Mike McCarthy He didn't. Also, George Edwards, former non-play calling defense coordinator for the Vikings. He's down there as a defensive assistant. A couple of tight ends, Blake Bell, Cole Hicatini. I used to be in purple. Also, of course, it's the Dan Bailey Bowl. I mean, Dan Bailey became the most accurate kicker in NFL history as part of the Cowboys, and then fell apart, and then came to the Vikings, fell apart for a while, and then finally got together. Revenge game. Week 12. So, Brandon Zylstra, the pride of Concordia. He was on the Vikings roster for a couple years. Stephen Weatherly played out his rookie deal here, signed with Carolina in the offseason, and then that is it. That is it. That is the only crossover. Oh, I guess you could go. So Justin Jefferson and Panthers offensive coordinator Joe Brady, they were both at LSU last year, so maybe that's a thing. But that is it. That is the only Vikings-Panthers cross. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Teddy. Hey, Teddy. Welcome back to US Bank Stadium. Now, I do expect there will be a nice, warm applause for Teddy. And then after, well, actually, no, there will be no fans. So it'll be simulated cheers, and then it'll be game on. And then hunting number 5, Daniil and Everson are hunting number 5, because Everson will be back by then. There you go. Week 13 Jaguars. This one was thin. So Rashad Hill started as a UDFA out of Southern Miss on the Jaguars practice squad. Vikings picked him up in 2016, as well as legendary cornerback Tremaine Brock. So Tremaine Brock is interesting because the Niners, he was cut by the Niners, and he had a choice between signing with the Vikings and the Seahawks in 2017, I believe. And then he signed with the Seahawks. And this is before the season. And then the Seahawks were going to cut him, and then the Vikings traded a 7th-round pick for him. So it was like, sucks to suck, Tremaine Brock. Well, he didn't play much. He was bad, but that's thin. And they just signed him, so that's literally it. But it's still more than the other Florida team. Week 14 at the Bucs. There's no connection. I'm sure someone will dig. There may be something thin in there, but I don't know. The Vikings not drafting Tyler Johnson, even though they had several rounds to do it. Antoine Winfield Jr., maybe. Yeah. Then the Bears, again, in the Week 16, you got the Saints. Tavis Murray, solid running back for the Vikings for a number of years, went down to New Orleans to pair up with Alvin Kamara, who is not very good, as well as Nick Easton, was okay at left guard for the Vikings for a number of years. He was the one who replaced Alex Boone, and then he signed like a big free agent deal with the Saints, and then they just replaced him. Like, it's like, you can't. Yeah, you're not starting anywhere. You're not. Just nah. As well as, so under the radar, Vikings co-regional defense coordinator Adam Zimmer / linebackers coach got his start with the New Orleans Saints. Actually won a ring with them in 2009 with a big asterisk. Like, Adam Zimmer, if I see Adam Zimmer Super Bowl ring, that thing better have like the monster asterisk right there, because he knows. Also, actually, it's pissing me off now. So he was obviously part of that defense. He was obviously in those meetings with Greg Williams. So I'm pissed now. Skull production. All right, the Week 17, of course, we're running back against the Lions. But, man, there is so much crossover just because in the free agency area, just because of all the turnover on coaching staffs. Like, there's always revenge coming back and forth beyond just regular, team history. Because F the Saints, F the Packers right in the face, F the Bears, F the Falcons for 98, even though it was mainly the Vikings F themselves in 98. F the Seahawks, because every single year we're playing primetime game at Seattle. F the Bucks just because the Buccaneers was the only loss during the 98 regular season because Tony Dungy knew Denny Green cold. F the Saints. We all knew that. F the Cowboys because of Drew Pierce push off. Texans are okay. Who cares about the Texans? Same thing with the Titans. Yeah, whatever. All right, so that is it. That is the Vikings 2020 Revenge Tour. Supersized. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull something in the Venmo unit to do. But till next time, Skull, production value.